So a little bit ago, someone sent me a DM on Instagram about a creator who makes YouTube subliminal videos, and after watching a few of her videos and some others, I was really interested but also really concerned, so I decided I would do a little more research and make a video about it. I do want to say quickly that after making the majority of this video and thinking of a title, I found out that Curtis Connor has a video called The Strange World of YouTube Subliminals, which is pretty similar to mine, but I'm really bad at thinking of titles. I have no creativity when it comes to that, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. Just want you to know I did not intentionally copy him. So for those who don't know, the word subliminal in this context means below the threshold of conscious perception. There are many different types and they can target any of the senses. I'm sure most people are familiar with visual subliminal messaging being used in advertisements, there was a dollar bill in the lettuce of a KFC burger or something a couple years back. For this video, since my channel just focuses on social media commentary, I'm only going to be talking about subliminal auditory YouTube videos. On YouTube, creators use subliminal audio messages which they say your conscious mind cannot pick up, but your subconscious mind can. They embed positive affirmations into music usually, so when you listen to a subliminal on YouTube, your conscious mind is just hearing the song since the affirmations cannot be audibly heard. Success Subliminal says, because your conscious mind is not aware of the subliminal suggestions underlying the music, it can't put up barriers against it. That's why subliminal affirmations avoid any resistance, which would usually hold you back. Your conscious mind will only hear music, but there's much more happening behind the scenes. With repeated listening, your subconscious mind begins to accept the suggestions as true. You can probably guess what the most popular ones are based on what society values the most: external beauty, weight loss, money, dream house, attracting a romantic partner, that kind of stuff. Subs are kind of in the realm of, or they are in the realm of law of attraction and manifestation. So if you're familiar with that stuff, a lot of this will also sound familiar to you. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by Native. I've been using Native deodorants since I think July of last year, and they're definitely by far my favorites that I've ever used. A lot of deodorants kind of have that sticky feeling when you put them on, but I've never had that with Natives. They dry quickly and last all day for me, even if I'm going for a run or doing something else active. They're cruelty-free, vegan, and aluminum, paraben, and sulfate-free. There's a ton of scents to choose from. I have eucalyptus and mint, coconut and vanilla, sweet peach and nectar, cucumber and mint, and lavender and rose. Coconut and vanilla is the one that I like and use the most. It has a very kind of warm, comforting smell to it, and yeah, I just love it. Native has been branching out lately, and they now offer body washes and toothpaste and even plastic-free deodorants. I haven't tried those yet because I'm pretty much stocked up on deodorants for a while, but they're a brand that I feel really good about supporting because of their products and their values. Last year, they donated over $2 million worth of products to Hope and Comfort, which is a nonprofit organization that helps deliver health and confidence to those in need. So if you'd like to try out their products, 3 deodorants are normally $36, but with my link in the description, my code analysis2, you can get them for $24. That's 33% off. And with that code, you can also get 20% off of any toothpaste or body wash, and shipping is always free to the US. So yeah, thank you for Native for sponsoring this video again. Now from my research, it's clear that subliminal messaging can and does produce effects. That I'm not denying, and I'm not going to go over studies that support or don't support that, because it's really not controversial that they just have effects. That's a very vague statement, But the problem that I have with YouTube subliminal creators is that they don't seem to have any limit on what they claim subliminals can do, and they often over-exaggerate the effectiveness of it and act like they basically make it into something that it's not. There's scientific research to support that subliminals have effects, but they're claiming it has these effects that I guarantee there's no scientific research on. And from my research, I'll go into this much later in the video, subliminals aren't that effective, but they act like they're super effective. And so yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. And then also there's this very concerning type of discourse that is commonplace on the weight loss subliminals, every single one that I've gone and looked at the comments of, and that is that there's so many people these subliminals appeal to teenagers. That's mainly the people who watch them from what I've seen, and so as many people can probably imagine, people who are teenagers going to these weight loss subliminals hoping to lose weight, feeling very insecure about their bodies, the things that they post, I don't even know how to put it. It's so heartbreaking, and a lot of it is kind of borders on what I'm pretty sure you'd see in like pro anorexia groups. So it's really sad, and I will be putting trigger warnings before I talk about stuff like that, so don't worry, I'll give you like a time that you can skip to if you want to skip that. So here's a little more information on what these videos tend to be like. Basically, they can range from just being like a 2-minute long video that's just one song start to finish, or some of them are many hours long, 4 hours, 10 hours, and it's just kind of different songs playing. Others have no music and are just kind of white noise. Others are completely silent. Like this one is completely silent, but if you turn the volume way up, you can just barely hear a very sped up voice. I'll play it here with the volume like cranked up so you can actually hear it. And I'm glad that I found that video, because I was kind of worried that like, what if some of these people aren't even putting subliminals in there? They're literally just re-uploading a royalty-free song and getting like 1 million views by putting weight loss subliminal in the title. Certainly people could be doing that. I don't have any way of knowing. I'm not sure if there is a way to know, to like take the audio and find the subliminal aspect of it when there's music over it, but who knows. But then of course the title will indicate the general purpose of the subliminal and what the affirmations will be related to. To me though, the descriptions are the most interesting, also the most concerning. That's where like the majority of the information about the subliminals is. So like creators will put the benefits that you're supposed to get in there. There's usually a ton of benefits. It's crazy. Like I when I was first looking through these, I kind of expected like a weight loss subliminal would just be like, you'll lose weight, blah blah blah. But it's like so many things. I'm gonna go over some of them later, and you're probably gonna get so bored listening to me list every single one in a creator's description. But some things they list as benefits are like very specific, but others are exaggerated intentionally. So like for example, the creator who I was DM'd about earlier has a channel called Eggtopia. It's really weird because literally just a couple hours before I read and got this DM, I was watching a video on this creator's other channel called Erlane Saint Sir. I think I pronounced that wrong probably, but I was watching a video called The Stigma and Invalidation of EDs, My Issues with the Glow Up Diaries by Olivia D'Andrea, which I would totally recommend watching if you watched Olivia's Glow Up Diaries series. That's something that someone else DM'd me about, so I watched part of it and found them to be kind of concerning, but I really loved Erlane's take on it, so I just wanted to like give her a shout out for that video because I think it's really good. But her other channel, the Eggtopia one, focuses on subliminals, and so one example is a video called Shot Caller, Manifest Extreme Wealth and Financial Freedom, Subliminal, Listen Once. Some of them will put in the title like listen once, or another thing that is super weird is that some of them will say that you should only listen to it like 1 or 2 or 3 times maximum. I'm gonna talk more about that later, kind of towards the end, but people will literally act like it is dangerous if you listen to it more than the amount of times that they tell you you should. So anyways, I'm not going to read all of the benefits of the Shot Caller Manifest Wealth Subliminal, but here are some of them. Manifest an unlimited amount of money in an instant. Large sums of money come to you effortlessly. Attain complete financial freedom. Manifest your ideal luxury lifestyle effortlessly. House, cars, clothes, vacations, etc. Any amount of money you spend comes back to you by 9999999999999 fold. That's obviously an example of exaggeration. I watched a video where they talked about why they did that, but I forgot, and it's not really relevant to the video, so you can look it up if you want. Both you and your family members and friends have the highest paying jobs / careers. Become the richest person that all people know. So that's what you're supposed to be able to get from this subliminal, these affirmations. Supposedly, not only do they work on you, but they work on other people who didn't hear them, your friends, your family members. They can help them get high-paying jobs. Sounds like a pretty good deal. All you have to do is listen to a video. Like, it's great for lazy people like me. You don't have to actually go out and do anything. You can just listen to a song. One of the top comments says, "This works. My aunt won the lottery with $10,000 and she gave me $100. And another person says their mom got a raise after the commenter, listened to this. People who watch these tend to consider these testimonials that are left in the comments as evidence that the subliminals do the things that they are supposed to do. but I'm not really convinced. If you use these types of subliminals, I hope you don't think I'm negatively judging you. I'm judging the education systems of the world, you know, mainly the US's, because that's what I know most about. But I really think if critical thinking was a bigger focus in schools, we wouldn't have as many people believing things that are so obviously untrue. People who study logic and reasoning and critical thinking don't generally tend to be convinced of this kind of stuff. One main issue that I think there is with this and all the types of law of attraction stuff is the false cause fallacy. People would know about the false cause fallacy and fallacies in general if logic was like a required course in high school, but it's not. So most people learn about fallacies online, where it seems like most people these days learn about a whole lot more useful stuff than they do in schools. A fallacy is the use of invalid or otherwise faulty reasoning in the construction of an argument. This doesn't mean you have to be having a debate or like a fierce argument for them to come into play. You can literally just be commenting on a YouTube video that you believe something works because of this reason. That can kind of, in a sense, be considered an argument. A false cause fallacy occurs when someone incorrectly assumes a causal relationship between two things. Anytime someone thinks A causes B without a sufficient reason to believe that B was truly caused by A, it's an example of the false cause fallacy. So I want to go into a few examples of what I think is the false cause fallacy coming into play on a weight loss subliminal video. I'm going to put my first trigger warning here. If anything related to like weight loss, body image, eating disorders, that kind of stuff could trigger you, please skip to the time on the screen. So someone says, "Seconds after listening to this, I felt a weird feeling in my stomach. I think it's working." This is a super obvious example of the false cause fallacy. You know, having a weird feeling in your stomach after watching a weight loss subliminal video is not remotely evidence that it works. There's so many different things that can cause you to have a weird feeling in your stomach. But I think the person thinks this because a lot of them, the creators of these subliminals, will make it seem like there is like it's normal for bodily reactions to occur when listening to these subliminals. Like, for example, some of them, like I've said, think it's dangerous to listen to certain ones more than 1 or 2 times. And so they'll say you should like drink lots of water, take a break if you get a headache or something like that. Egtopia has some of her descriptions say, "Take breaks as needed. If you're experiencing headaches or motion sickness, chill for 30 minutes to an hour and try again. Try to stay hydrated in order to prevent motion sickness." It's really, really strange to me, especially because of all the ones that I listened to. Literally nothing happened to me physically in the moment. But I'll go over that later when I talk about another creator who their like descriptions are so over the top and they make it seem like their videos can be so dangerous if you listen to them too many times. It's super, super strange. But the second example is on that weight loss subliminal is, "I'm gonna leave this on loop overnight and see how it goes. Edit, I swear I lost 3 freaking pounds, it works." It's common knowledge that people lose weight overnight, you know, that's just how it goes. It's water weight that you lose through transpiration and respiration when your body sweats and you breathe. So again, they're assuming a causal relationship where one does not exist. Because even if subliminals are like this great thing that help with weight loss, still they don't just magically make you lose weight without doing anything. It would be through them affecting your mindset, and your mindset would affect your choices, which would affect your weight. It's not like you just, you know, look in the mirror and suddenly you're 3 pounds skinnier. Last example, "I listened to this for 5 days. I was 58 kilograms, then stopped mainly because I felt like it wasn't working. A week or 2 has passed, and I weigh around 55 kilograms. I think this subliminal gave me the confidence to achieve my goal, and thank you. We'll still be working on it." Again, this could simply be a difference between when a person weighed themselves. They could have weighed themselves at night the first time, and then at morning after they took a poop the second time. But there's another thing that kind of makes these results not very reliable. You know, this is not a scientific experiment. They're not controlling any of the variables. These people who are like on these weight loss subliminals, watching them, they're probably also going to be doing other things to lose weight. Maybe exercising or eating healthier or restricting their calories. I'm 100% certain that a lot of these people have eating disorders. You can just kind of tell by the general feeling of the comment section. It's really sad. Like, here is somebody listing affirmations in the weight loss video, and like their own in the comments. I'm never hungry. I'm releasing all my fat. I'm releasing all my weight. I'm extremely skinny. My weight is 35 kilograms or 77 pounds. Just exaggeration. I feel full even if I don't eat. I don't feel hungry. I don't need food. Another person said, my stomach growled or made a noise. Y'all, it's working. Like, when your stomach is growling, it's telling you that you're hungry and you should eat. Please don't starve yourselves. But based on the fact that so many people are really clearly young people struggling with their body image and their weight, I can imagine that they're also doing other things to try to lose weight. So even if they are getting results, they're not necessarily results from subliminals. I mean, if somebody's eating healthier and exercising and doing subliminals and they lose weight, you can't really, I don't think, logically conclude that the subliminals did that, because there's all these different variables that are changing. Scientific experimentation is important because of this, because it allows, or it makes it so only one variable is being changed at a time, so you can really figure out what is causing a change. The video where the person like made the comment about their stomach growling was called "The Most Intense Weight Loss Subliminal Ever." And many people on there were commenting like their starting weight and their goal weight, and saying that they were going to edit their comment and update every day to like say what their weight was each day. And so I scrolled through trying to find like somebody who would update it for more than 5 days, and I really couldn't. I saw one that lasted like 10 days. That was it. Most people made it to 3 or 4 days and then they stopped updating their comments. I also found someone saying, I was searching for consistent results by anyone in the comments, but I couldn't find any, so I'm going to do it myself. And then they too only posted for 4 days and they gained 0.1 kilograms. So I thought that was really interesting. I never saw anyone say that they lost more than 3 pounds. Not that that remotely like disproves these things, just because people didn't say they were getting like very big drastic results, but it's certainly not very convincing to me, especially when this video is supposed to be the most intense weight loss subliminal on the planet. Almost 1 million people have watched this, so we should be seeing some great results. I mean, if there's not great results on the best one ever created, then what are the results on the other ones gonna look like? Now, I can definitely see how people who are already into law of attraction and manifestation would believe these subliminals do the things that the creators say they're going to do related to like weight loss and whatnot. Most people can control their weight through their choices, their actions, and their mindset obviously plays a role in that. But here's where it gets really weird and strange, and I'm really confused how people can believe this. There's not just subliminals related to things that your actions can control, like making money, losing weight. There are subliminals about decreasing your height, increasing your height, getting the perfect nose, getting bigger or smaller boobs, making your eyes more almond-shaped, making your literal skull angel-shaped, you know, things that your mind and your choices cannot control. You cannot permanently change the shape of your eyes or your nose or your skull without surgery or like, I don't know, falling on your face on the cement and breaking your nose. Like, you can't do that. And it's very alarming that there are people who think that you can. Although, like I said, these are kids. I understand that it's mainly kids. Based on, like, I mean, reading their comments, the kind of, like, internet slang that they use, their profile pictures, you can tell that they're mainly kids. But still, even then, like, it's kind of alarming that even teenagers would believe that, because it's so far-fetched. You know, your height is determined primarily by genetics, but there are other factors like being healthy, having access to healthcare, being physically active, and those all play a role in it as well. But I mean, for example, I'm 20. I've been done growing since like middle school. How could anything that I do change my height? Any mental, any physical thing, like the only thing that I feel like at this point in my life could make me taller or shorter would be some kind of disease that affects my bones or my limbs or whatever. Like, I agree that affirmations can help with controllable things like weight loss. There's scientific evidence that supports that, you know, because when you're doing affirmations, you're reminding yourself of your goal, and that's going to make you more likely to take action on it. But how could affirmations do that for height? How could they do that for your nose? Those are not things that you choose or that your choices have any effect over, for the most part. Like I said, environmental factors, but like me at 20, I'm not gonna get any taller, okay? I'm gonna be 5'3" for life until I get old, then I'll shrink. Going back to the definition from the start of this video, subliminals are supposed to work because your conscious mind isn't perceiving them, so it can't put up barriers against it. But my conscious mind putting up barriers to prevent me from growing taller than I did is not something I think any properly educated person would think makes an ounce of sense. So once again, shout out to the education system. Like, we all know the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but we don't know that our thoughts cannot make us shorter or taller. Not only that, but here are the supposed benefits of Eggtopia's growth spurt subliminal video, which shows that the subliminal is supposed to be able to do so much more than just make you taller. Like, there's a ton of things, bear with me. It's gonna be long. Grow by 9999999999999 inches. Permanently attain your complete desired tall height. Extremely proportionate body for your height. Complete desired body. Body shape, frame, features. Desired torso proportions. Desired torso length and width. Extremely symmetrical rib cage. Desired arm proportions. Desired arm length and arm width. Extremely straight and symmetrical arm bones. Humerus, radius, ulna. Desired leg proportions, length and width. Extremely straight and symmetrical leg bones. Femur, fibula, tibia. Desired feet size. Perfect feet. Desired hand size, perfect hands, desired finger size, desired bone structure, perfectly symmetrical bone structure, perfect straight and aligned bone structure all over the body, including legs, arms, etc., perfectly healthy bones, joints, and muscles, perfect head, shoulder, and back posture and alignment, extremely straight and symmetrical spinal bones, cervical spine, thoracic spine, lumbar spine, be completely free of and immune to scoliosis, knock knees, bowed legs, sway back, hunchback, any and all forms of skeletal, spinal, joint, bone, and muscle, pains, cancers, diseases, infections, be free of and immune to eating disorder, ED tendencies, body dysmorphia, and poor lifestyle habits, be free of and immune to poor relationship with food, your body exercise, and never self-sabotage, punch, or guilt yourself with the food, your body exercise. Where on this earth is the evidence that your subconscious can influence your bone structure and how straight and symmetrical your bones are? I mean, what even would be the process of that? It's so illogical. And it's concerning because although, yes, most of these people believing this are kids, why are kids not being taught critical thinking skills in school? I mean, if you're a parent, you're gonna have to do this yourself, okay? Please. The schools aren't going to do it. They don't teach you critical thinking. They just teach you memorization. And it's like, I truly don't think that the people watching this are necessarily dumb. I mean, the creator of this channel, the Eggtopia channel, she seems really intelligent from the video that I watched of her on her other channel. So like, and at the same time, she doesn't seem like somebody who like would just make these videos for money and doesn't actually believe they work. Like, I don't think she has bad intentions at all or has no integrity. It's just so alarming that anyone could believe this, I think. And the education systems are to blame, in my opinion. And I mean, I do think like even intelligent people, everyone I think has kind of like irrational beliefs or just things that, you know, later in life, especially when I'm sure everyone has had things that they believed in their teens and 20s and they looked back later in life and were like, why the heck did I believe that? So I mean, that's the best explanation I can think of. These people aren't dumb who believe in these. It's just, even if you're intelligent, you can still believe something that's a little weird. Another one of these that I want to read the benefits of is called Unrecognizable Extreme Glow Up Subliminal. Listen Once by Epiphany Affirmations. They write, this is a facial glow up subliminal. Use with caution, because this works fast as it uses a listen once formula. So I did listen to this once when I was writing the script. Because of that, you can expect to see me become way prettier over the next couple videos that I post. Like the title says, unrecognizable. In a couple of videos you might not know it's still me, but it is. I won't let anyone post on this channel, like it's still gonna be me. I also really love the wonderful message that these beauty related videos put out. All of the features that they list are they only apply to Eurocentric beauty standards, so it's really great that they kind of put out the message of like, this is what you should look like, these Eurocentric beauty standards, blah blah blah. This is what makes you pretty, and if you don't look like this, then you're not. And these are very important things, of course. So this one is long, bear with me, I'll try to make it somewhat entertaining. Have an extreme glow up with beauty strong enough to turn heads. Have a major transformation. Have CG-like beauty that becomes enhanced with every action. I don't know what CG is, but I looked it up. There's many different, acronyms, so I don't know, maybe computer graphics, maybe Coast Guard. Everyone wants to look like a Coast Guard, have Coast Guard beauty, right? Become literal perfection and looked at as a blueprint. I think this means like the government is going to use you as a blueprint for maybe creating robots or something. I'm not really sure. Have the most perfect, symmetrical, proportional face with features that complement each other. Have a perfect side profile and pretty resting face. Look beautiful in literally every position, doing any action. That's not possible. I mean, in the sense that they're using the words beauty and whatever, like anyone can make themselves look ugly. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a model, like you can do an ugly face, okay? Become photogenic and videogenic and immune to people having embarrassing photos. Apparently this can control other people's camera rolls as well, which is nice. It's always helpful. Perfect facial structure, 130 gonal angle. Now, I'm not a fan of this one particularly because I looked it up, and this attractiveness guide said that the ideal gonal angle for women should be less than 130. So how am I supposed to get the perfect face if I have a male-sized gonal angle? Luckily, I have heard that if you don't want any of these benefits in the subliminal, then it's okay, like you can just not have them. Like you can just say, oh, I don't want it, and you won't have it. So forward maxilla, like the other subliminal, I'm glad that this one has the ability to restructure your bones. That's always great. It's going to save people a lot of money on plastic surgery. Of course, it's not going to be necessarily good for the economy because a lot of people are going to be put out of jobs. Plastic surgeons are going to be obsolete. I mean, we don't need them anymore because you can literally change anything about yourself if you just listen to a subliminal video. Healthy bite alignment, sharp jawline, taut submental region, small forehead. That one might take a little longer for me, so like don't expect results on that right away. Full and round and full hairline, soft baby hairs and scalp hair. Have fast hair growth and normal body porosity. Good smelling, easily styleable, and manageable hair. Apparently the scent of your hair is also controlled by your mind. That's good to know. I really never knew that, but it does make sense. I also like that a lot of these subliminals don't account for the subjective nature of anything, like good smelling. What does that mean? Different people like different smells. No matter what your hair smells like, there's gonna be someone in the world that doesn't like the smell of it. Get your ideal hair color, texture, and curl pattern. The mind determines hair color too. That's great. Not genetics or exposure to sun or anything like that. I've always wanted ringlet curls and bleach blonde hair, so since I listened to the subliminal, you can expect to see my hair gradually transform into that over the next couple months. Have full scalp hair, no more male pattern baldness. Become immune to frizzy and or thinning hair and humidity messing up your hair. A lot of like hair related jobs, I mean hairdresser. I don't know if subliminals can cut your hair for you too, but like they can do really anything to your hair, so hairdressers aren't needed, hair products aren't needed, anything like that. Get thick, full eyebrows, dark and symmetrical eyebrows, ideal eyebrow arch, immune to trichotillomania. Subliminals prevent and cure mental disorders, apparently. That should be obvious by now. They're pretty much God. So you really don't even need to get any help for mental disorders because you can just watch the subliminal video. That's sarcasm, don't do that. Get long, thick eyelashes, get dark, curly, false, lash-resemblant eyelashes, big, emotive eyes, bright, gorgeous eyes, ideal eye shape and color, get white sclera, perfect vision. Gonna put the glasses and contacts industry out of business too. So definitely gonna see some sort of economic recession, I'm guessing, once more people find out about subliminals. White waterline, dark limbal ring, eyelid rejuvenation, no clue what any of those are. Spider veins removal, tight eyelid skin, get a small Barbie-like thin nose hump, bump removal, symmetrical nose, 106-degree nasolabial angle, thin nostrils, excess nose hair removal. With the power of mind, you can now magically make your nose hairs fall out. Get soft, hydrated lips, kissable, smooth lips, immune to lip lines, ideal Cupid's bow shape, get icy, minty breath. Thank God for that one. I hate brushing my teeth, so now I don't have to anymore. Get teeth as straight and white as Tony Lopez. They literally couldn't have picked anyone else as an example besides like an alleged child predator TikTok dancer boy. I mean, it's clear that the person is under 18 because no one would use him as an example for anything positive over the age of 18. But that also makes me wonder, like, how do they know all these anatomy terms? I mean, no offense, I genuinely don't think somebody who, like, believes this kind of stuff would be, like, super educated on anatomy and know all these terms. Like, no one's going around complaining about how, oh, I wish my submental region was more taut. So it's like, I feel like they're copying and pasting these terms from somewhere. Strong teeth and gums. Goodbye dentist, another job not needed. attractive, award-winning, emotive smile, become immune to an awkward smile, become confident in your smile, get clear, smooth, radiant, airbrushed, youthful skin, have skin that resembles glass skin. To me, that doesn't sound that pleasant. Okay, I swear we're almost done. Have an even skin tone, invisible, itty-bitty pores, get taut and dewy skin. This is one of my favorites. Skin completely protected from sun damage. You don't need sunscreen anymore. This is such a great, responsible message to put out to young kids. All you need to do to prevent yourself from getting sun damage is do affirmations. Found another sub called Become Beautiful Overnight. All this stuff actually works overnight. I should have done this one because then you would have really been able to see like a quicker change, because I mean literally from like one video to another I would have looked completely different. So that video lists that your skin, one of the benefits is skin resistant to sunburns overnight. That's what's truly dangerous about these, is that like some of them are promoting things that make you less likely to do things that protect you, your health, your skin health. Like, please wear sunscreen, okay? I don't even have to look it up. Affirmations, whether they target the conscious or subconscious mind, do not protect your skin from damage from the sun. That is not possible. The last one is skin is instantly immune to blackheads, whiteheads, textured skin, eczema, rosacea, milia, acne, hyperpigmentation. Okay, I'm sorry that was so long, but I feel like you really, really need to gain like a complete understanding of all the claims that they're making and how ridiculous pretty much every single one of them is. So, because I'm not going to comment anymore on that, so moving on. So going back to the most intense weight loss subliminal ever, spoiler alert, there's not only one of these online. Everyone seems to think they have the most intense one ever created, but I don't understand how a creator can claim that their subliminal is the most powerful ever, because how do they know how powerful the other ones are? How can they compare the power of theirs to others? I truly don't think that anyone is saying this with any real evidence. Surprise, surprise. Like Lavender Subliminals has the subliminal I talked about earlier called Most Intense Weight Loss Subliminal Ever, silent, and then another one with 5.6 million views. Like, these videos are popular. I didn't really mention that earlier. Maybe if you were watching you might have seen the view counts, but like a lot of these are getting millions of views, not hundreds of thousands. They're very popular. And her other one with 5.6 says, I've never made a subliminal this powerful, most intense weight loss subliminal ever. And she writes in the description of that one, I know another weight loss subliminal, but trust me, this one is way more powerful. It's scary. I was honestly scared making it because there's probably over 10 layers of affirmations in it. Please drink water when listening or else you'll get a headache. Do not drive and listen, just relax. Love you. I'm kind of a rebel. I didn't drink any water while listening to this, and I was not even remotely hydrated throughout the entire day or probably my entire life, and I didn't get any headaches. So while I don't think all creators do just make subliminals for money, I do kind of question it with these ones who are saying the most intense subliminal for blank ever. Like, I don't know how you could ever come to that conclusion. And so it makes me question their integrity. I don't know. It's like when you're getting 5.6 million views for a video, I mean, they know that their kid audience is going to click on a video when they say most blank ever. And that's so, like, you're getting millions of views on something like that. That's a couple $1,000s. Most of them are using royalty-free music, so they're making the income. Like this creator for this 5.6 million view video, she doesn't even credit the person who makes the song. I despise when people do that. It's so easy. Like, why couldn't she just put the person's name and the title of the song in the description? It is one of the easiest things in the world to do. I swear. But it's like, you're making thousands of dollars off this video. You're putting your PayPal in the description so people can donate to you, and you can't even credit the person who made the song. Okay, now the thing that has become like my favorite aspect of subliminals is the people who act so overdramatic about how dangerous their subliminals can be if you don't listen to it exactly in the way that they say you should. So these two video descriptions are my favorite. They're from the same person. So the first one is like a weight loss type of subliminal, and then the second is an updated version of that. The first one is called 2 times max, dangerous, extremely skinny subliminal, 2 times max. And the description says, read everything. I am begging you, please only listen 2 times max. That is all you need per day. If you listen more, you won't get results. Please do not ignore my warnings. This is probably the most powerful weight loss subliminal ever. While I wrote the affirmations, my whole body tingled and was hurting, and after I felt like I was going to throw up, I'm begging you, use with freaking caution and heed my warning only 2 times. If I think someone is overusing this, I won't hesitate to private it. Don't ruin it for everyone. It is not a placebo, by the way. Only 2 listens are necessary. Even if you don't feel a thing, it's still working, so don't limit yourself. What happened to me? I listened a few times to decide how much I should put for the listening limit. I listened 3 times and felt pain. 4 times, I couldn't stand up because the pain was so unbearable. Then, even hours later, my stomach was aching as if I'd been punched. Do not listen more than 2 times for your safety. Okay. I like that this one says that if you listen to it more than 2 times, then you won't see results, whereas other ones will say, like, the more you listen to them, the more effective they are. Kind of weird. Also, I hope the creator doesn't watch this video, because I feel like they're going to be mad at me, because I did listen to this more than twice. I know almost all the words to the Avril Lavigne song that is played in this that I never heard of before, okay? I listened to this many times. Nothing happened. I mean, I know she said that it's possible that nothing happened, but truly I did not feel any different in any way, any part of my body for any amount of time then, now, and I don't think it's ever gonna affect me. I'm sorry. So the second one is called Updated Dangerously Skinny Subliminal 1 time max. You thought my other sub was strong? No, that's literally nothing. Literally, compared to this. This is the most powerful weight loss sub ever created, I swear, on Evermore Deluxe version. Before you ask, yes, you can use this with my old weight loss sub. It is not necessary, but it's not necessary because A, this includes all the affirmations from that one. Yep, I found them, thank God. And B, this one is much more powerful. This sub will mercilessly make you lose fat and weight faster than you ever imagined. Make sure you actually want to lose weight, because there's no going back once you use this. The affirmations are brutal as hell. I don't advise using this if you have a low pain tolerance, because you may feel pain or some sort of discomfort. But just because you don't feel anything doesn't mean the sub isn't working. I can't stress this enough. Even if you're overweight or whatever circumstances, that doesn't matter here. You still have to listen only once a day. Again, these affirmations are so intense. I honestly can't stress this enough. I'm not responsible for any pain you feel, even if you only listen once, because you've been warned. If I see/suspect even 1 person is listening more than once, I'm privating this and I'm dead effing serious. Do not be that person that ruins it for everyone. Also, here's some results I have from this. I listened to it once and I could literally see my effing arm muscle. Like, my arms were already slim AF, but I could see the effing muscle. WTF. I don't know if that's good or if it means I shouldn't listen or what. And I hate to say it, but again, I listened to that one many times. Nothing happened. Creator of that video, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I hope you're not mad at me for not following the rules. So the issue here, one of them, is that I don't think these creators have done really any research into how effective their particular methods are. I think people who create and tend to be into these are generally not the most scientifically enthusiastic. I mean, the creator of the last ones that I just read says in the description that they don't F with science, for example. So when they hear about subliminals being used in advertising, and maybe they've read a few abstracts from some research papers done on them, and so they just tend to think, okay, like, subliminals work, that's great. And they don't really look at it with more nuanced view of, like, yes, subliminals have been shown to have certain effects, but that doesn't mean they affect everything that you want them to, and that doesn't mean that just because they have effects that they are effective. You know, from the research that I've done, I mean, Wikipedia, of course, isn't always a reliable source, but if you go to, like, the sources that are listed at the bottom, the references, and read through them, you can confirm what is being said. And so, like, on the Subliminal Stimuli wiki page, I skimmed a few of the research papers that were linked, and what I gathered from those is that subliminal messaging hasn't really been shown to have a very strong effect. It's just kind of a small one, and when it does, it doesn't affect everyone, every single person that is exposed to the subliminal. So a lot of these creators will act like every single person who's going to listen to this subliminal is going to have an effect, and that's just not what the evidence shows. I personally don't think people should be relying on subliminals to create change in any area of their life. I mean, if you want to watch them, I don't think they're going to hurt you. I don't think they're dangerous if you listen to them too much. I think based on the research, they are probably not that effective, and even if they do produce some effect in some people, they're not going to produce an effect in 100% of the listeners of these videos, especially the stuff that the mindset can't change, like subliminals impacting bone structure. That is completely supernatural. So for me, I'm going to need a lot more evidence before I'm convinced of that. So please do not use these videos as substitutes for taking real action in your life. I mean, especially when it comes to the important stuff, like please wear sunscreen, okay? Don't think that they can heal your mental disorder or that they can prevent you from getting diseases. They can make you immune to anything. Like, no, please don't. If you're struggling with body image and your weight, honestly, I recommend just take a break from social media. That seems to be a huge factor in a lot of people's self-esteem issues these days. Take a break. Stop watching TikTokers and Instagrammers who put a filter on every single thing they do. They don't look remotely what they look like in person compared to what they show on social media. Just take a break. Unfollow people who you just compare yourself to. Follow people who you get actual like valuable content out of, like it genuinely benefits your life. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts on it below.